What's up, guys? Out here sitting in the garage, wanted to do a video on my seat, having me a little bit of a cigar. And I bought a Bad Boyz Cyclez Freedom Series seat. Let me show you the seat here. Really nice seat. I'm running solo right now. We'll come back to that. So when I bought the bike new, you've got the stock seat, which is basically similar to that. That's my wife's bike. That's a stock seat, frame, base, plate, whatever you want to call it. It's been customized. But the stock seat on a street glide, road glide, special, whatever, they're not that terrible. They're not the best looking seat in the world, but they're not horrible. And I guess I say that in comparison. I had a friend that bought a CVO, and I wanted something with a little more style, and I like a solo seat when I'm not, carrying a passenger. So I bought his CVO seat. Let me tell you something. I don't know, there's probably you out there that really enjoy or like a CVO seat. Hey, you do you. But I'm going to tell you something, that's the biggest piece of garbage as far as I'm concerned that there is. I can't understand why Harley would make a CVO seat or a bike that's $40,000 and put such a crappy seat on. Now, not from a looks perspective. It's a very attractive seat. It's cool. But after about 45 minutes, now this is me, and I've talked to others, about 45 minutes to an hour of riding, that's it. Can't take anymore. Back's hurting, lower back, butt bone, it's numb. So I began this quest looking for a seat that gave me looks plus comfort. And to be honest with you, I was more geared toward comfort. I'm 54 years old, and I'm at the point in my life where, I like it to look good, but my biggest priority is comfort. My wife and I rode from St. Augustine to Key West, Florida about a year and a half ago. And when you get on a long ride, a comfortable seat is worth $1 million. An uncomfortable seat will kill you. And I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that know this. So I began looking at a lot of seats. LaPera makes some really, really nice seats. Saddlemen, I'm not a fan of the Saddlemen seats. A lot of people are. I'm just not a fan of them. Well, let me be fair. I haven't ridden one for a long distance, but I've watched reviews from guys that's had both Saddlemen and the new Bad Boyz Cyclez seat, and they really like the Bad Boyz Cyclez Freedom Series seat over other seats. So that kind of drew me to that seat. They make other seats. They've got a Scorpion, I believe, series. It doesn't look as comfortable. It looks really, really good, though. So I began looking and studying the Bad Boyz Cyclez seats. I ordered this seat, ran into a few issues with them. I don't want to say I became impatient, but I was told a certain time period. That time period came and went. Didn't have it. Let me just say this. I got a little frustrated with them. They got a little frustrated with me. However, considering everything, I would buy the seat again because that's how good this seat has been to me so far. I've put about 1,000 miles on it, and I have zero complaints. I will say this. I'm about 5'10". So if you're more than 5'10", get the extended reach. Go ahead and take my word for it. I'm right on the edge, but the seat has a slight amount of adjustment in it that I can work out. But if you're above 5'10", you might want to look at you will want to look at the extended reach seat. So I got the seat. The packaging was really, really good. And the shipping, though, I live in Tennessee. The seat came from California. Wow, it's like $185 to get that seat to me. Again, it's worth it. The seat's very expensive. Well, I guess that's subjective. I'm in this seat for about $800 or so, somewhere in that area. But I'd do it again, and you need to know this. I'm not sponsored by Bad Boy Cycles. They probably don't want to talk to me again after we had a few words. They don't endorse me. They didn't send me anything for free. I paid full price for this seat. So this is just me sharing my opinion, and I would buy the seat again. Absolutely, without hesitation. And if you're on the edge of purchasing a seat, trying to make a decision, please give this one some consideration, especially if you do a lot of riding. You can get custom stitching. You can, if they have a particular color already in stock on the stitching, like a black or a white, more common, then you're probably going to get it a lot faster. I've seen people get them within a week. But if it's truly a color, the stitching that you select, then you're probably going to have to wait. So, having said that, let's get into looking at the seat. So, we'll start with the rider's part. This is the rider seat. Of course, I'm running solo. I'll give you a couple of angles of it. It's really padded right here. And I think it has like a medium density and a high density foam. Don't quote me on that. But the longer you ride this seat, the better it feels. You've got some back support here. It's not much, but it's just enough. I'll take you around the seat here. I'll show you how it mounts. You can see those. And those bolts are already on your bike. So, a little bit of a hassle to get those on and off whenever you try to remove it. But it's not too bad. You got a little bit of adjustment. So, you can move the seat forward and backwards. It's not a lot of adjustment, but it's a little bit of adjustment. So, here's some more angles of the seat. Comes up really good on the tank. So what I liked about this was several things. A lot of people talked about comfort. I wanted a balance between looks and comfort. The solo seat to me looks really good. I also have the option for a rider. And you can see how thick this is. Let's take this to the back and I'll show you the... You've got these that go into those bolts that I just showed you. And the seat goes on like this. Tightens down back here. You can see it goes into this screw that's here already. Sits on the top of this seat. I'll give you a view. Now it's not latched all the way down. This gap will not be here. So this will go all the way down. But you can see looks really good. Look how wide this back seat is. This is my hand. Look at this. It's almost twice. Versus a stock seat. This is my wife's. It's been custom done, but it is a stock seat custom. Look. Big difference. So this is really comfortable for a passenger. A couple more shots here. Now let me tell you the final thing that sold me on this seat. I don't know how many of you out there have ridden with a backrest, but if you haven't ridden with a backrest on a long trip, do yourself a favor and get a backrest. It's amazing the difference that it makes for your comfort and how long you can ride is amazing. So let me show you this backrest. I've got two mounts here, and I'm going to show you what those are for. So the short one is with your okay. So this, you just push it down and it's in place. Got a pocket in the back if you got a rider on the back, and it's adjustable. You have adjustments in here to move this seat forward or backward. Nice padding. Stitch matches the rest of the seat, and you can choose your color stitching. Again, it's badboycycles.com, so you can go on and look at all the stitching they got. But this right here, I've probably put over 1,000 miles on this. I think I could honestly ride this seat from sun up to sundown. That's how good this seat feels with the backrest. Well, it feels great without the backrest, but this little bit of support is amazing what it'll do for you. Kick back, put your back up against it. You don't realize how much of your lower back that you're using whenever you are riding long trips. Now, when you want to remove it, you simply pull it up, pull it out. Now let me show you what this other one's for. You remember seeing, this is where the seat goes, right down in here. Okay? When you're riding solo seat, the shorter mount makes it go all the way down. When you're riding with a passenger seat on, I guess the passenger pillion if you want to call it, your gap now is longer. So you got a hole here, right here. This, you go through this one with the long one. Here's the long one. You go through this here, and then you still got that much sticking out to go through this. So that makes it flush when the passenger seat's on. If you tried to put this one on with the passenger seat on, it's not going to go all the way through this and into the driver's seat. If you run this one with just the driver's seat, you're going to have this much of it sticking up and see the shiny bar. So I didn't like that. So I got two bars, two extensions, one short for riding solo and one for when you're riding two up with a passenger pillion. Okay, let's talk about some of my thoughts after my miles on it, with things I've noticed. Seat seems to set you up slightly higher. It's not much. It just seems like I'm looking slightly over the windshield a little more than I used to. It feels really firm at first. When you first get the seat and you're like, wow, this might be too hard. No, the more you ride it, better it feels. I don't know if it's a combination of conforming to your outline, to your body, but it progressively gets better and better and better. Even within a trip, you may start off on the trip and think, wow, this is a little firm. You get an hour down the road and you're really feeling good. So it may seem firm, it's not. It sets you up maybe a tad bit more, and like I said earlier, they have an extended reach for guys, the tall guys out there. I've got over 1,000 miles on this seat probably, and I honestly cannot find anything to complain about at this point. Maybe there was a small complaint around the back side of the seat with the way that the cover was tucked up under. There was one area that was very minor, but I'm being maybe a little bit picky there. But overall, I would give this seat a 10 out of 10 for comfort and looks. I'm very happy with this purchase, and I'll try to put a link down below to their website. Go check out their seats, and you know, they're good guys. They really are. We had a little back and forth because it took way longer than expected, and he stood his ground, I stood my ground, and almost canceled the order. But he offered a solution and gave me another time frame, and he'd have it by this time, and he did. So they're good people to deal with. They've got several other options on their website. I don't think there's a better looking seat out there, but again, that's a subjective statement, very subjective. My wife has a custom seat, but they took her seat and customized it. Her seat came from James Carter. Listen, guys, if you don't know who James Carter is, this guy's top notch. So you can find a lot of him on Instagram. I'll try to put a link to his stuff in there too. I think it's called James Carter Seats. He used to do a lot of stuff for Jesse James Customs. He's very talented. He changed the foam, kept her same seat plate or base, whatever you want to call it, or pan, and changed the foam and put some custom stitching in, change up some fabric on it. And it's a really, really good seat. And I think if I bought another seat, it would either be through James Carter or the Bad Boy Cyclez Freedom Series seat. So anyway, that's my take on the seat and the situation. If you have any questions or comments, put them below. And please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps me out. I'm going to try to make a lot more videos. I'm going to get into a lot of stuff with the bikes. So if there's something you want to see, let me know. And, you know, hit the notification so you'll know when I come out with a new video. If you like the video, let me know. If you don't like the video, let me know. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you again soon.